one. That's our camera spot right there. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna raise this up. This is Bob Babbit, one of the most amazing supporters, advocates for all triathletes around the world. The Challenged Athlete Foundation, years with the Ironman Foundation, supporting just everybody who's out to elevate themselves. I've got Bob Babbit here. What are you doing racing here in Orange County Triathlon?
You know what? I raced the Orange County Triathlon really from the early days of the event and just loved it. Years ago, this was a huge prize money race.
Really?
Mazda Performing Arts Center Triathlon. They had a Mazda Miata out in the water.
No way.
And then the pros, they had two Mazdas as a turnarounds on the road right behind us here. And the winners, Greg Welch and McKeely Jones, both won Mazdas plus the prize purse. So it was pretty huge. All the top pros were here.
Wow.
And I've raced here forever and ever and ever. And then when it went to a two transition, I sort of moved away from it. But now with sprint, with everything starts and finishes here, I love it.
Wow, Bob. Hey, so one of the things that I talk about is performance, purpose, and profits. I want to talk about purpose with you for a moment.
Okay. Yeah, because performance is not really my my crappy performance. But purpose, I have good purpose.
You do. Why the Challenged Athletes Foundation for all these years? You're still wearing it. You're still an advocate for.
Oh, yeah.
Why did that matter so much to you?
Well, we started it really. One of our friends by the name of Jim McLaren was a football player at Yale. And back in 1985, he was taking acting classes in New York. Was, like I said, 300-pound offensive lineman. He was on his motorcycle going to class. He gets hit by a New York City bus, thrown 90 feet in the air. He lives, but loses his lower left leg. Came back from that to run with a walking leg, a 3:16 marathon.
What?
Then came to Kona and went 10:42 at the Ironman World Championship.
What?
Swear to God. With a walking prosthetic, not like this, the high-tech carbon fiber.
We're talking 80s.
You're talking 80, he got injured in 85, so 88, 89, 90, that era. So anyways, he's traveling the world. Everybody knows who he is. He's sponsored by Budweiser. I'm covering him through Competitor Magazine. In 93, he got hit again.
Oh my God.
He was in a race. A van went through a closed intersection, hit the back of his bike, propelled him headfirst into a pole, and became a quadriplegic. And at that point, myself and two buddies got together, and the goal was, I'd covered a lot of wheelchair athletes. And when I'd interview them about the worst part about their new lot in life, invariably it was, I'm 30 years old, here come mom and dad back in my life, and you lose independence, you lose sense of self. So our goal was, we're going to raise $25,000 for a little triathlon. We're going to buy a van with hand controls to give Jimmy independence. So at that point, we put on a little triathlon at La Jolla Cove. We raised $49K. We think our job is done. And then what happens is 3 amputee women come up to us and they're like, it's so cool you did for Jimmy, but did you know when you get injured, your health insurance will cover a walking around leg and everyday wheelchair. Nothing to do with sport is covered by insurance because they consider sports a quote-unquote luxury, right? We didn't believe that. Sport is a huge part of who we are and what we do. So then we got our 501(c) and decided if someone needed a piece of equipment, training, or travel, Sustained Game of Life through Sport, CEF Forever Today would be there. We've now raised $159 million.
Oh, Bob.
44,000 grants.
Oh my God.
To athletes in all 50 states.
44,000 grants.
50 countries.
44,000 grants.
50 states. 73 countries, 105 different sports. We just sent out our first grant in pickleball. Wheelchair pickleball, who knew? So that's cool. And actually in the last couple of weeks, we sent out 3,996 grants totaling $7 million. There's nothing better than to see a piece of equipment change somebody's life for the better and make people comfortable in their own skin because they know they can be an athlete.
So, last piece, everybody, before I let them go, because everybody wants to talk to him. When I first started training before I finished Ironman 2008, I met Bob, San Diego, one of the triathlons there. I was brand new, I was doing a sprint, and you gave a really great, I think I asked something dumb from the crowd, how do we keep going when it gets hard, or and what do you tell people, when the going gets tough?
It's a catered workout. What the hell? It's just for fun. Look at everybody. Nobody here is competing with anybody else. You're competing with yourself. Years ago, when I first started Competitor Magazine, I made it as a point for me to pass out 3,000 magazines a month. Because my job was not just to sell ads in a magazine. I wanted to bring new people into the sport. That's right. So invariably, someone would say to me, "Oh, I'm not a competitor." They thought it meant elite athlete. And I said, "You got up at 4 in the morning to drive out here to run or walk a 5K. You're a competitor. You're competing with yourself to make yourself a better version of yourself." And to me, that's what this is all about. Everybody here wants to make themselves a better version of themselves and change their lives for the better. And so many people, I met a guy today, he said, "I was on your show a decade ago, I had lost 90 pounds. Wow. Right? And he goes, "I came on your show and I was in between an interview with Bob Roll and Mark Allen. I didn't feel worthy." I said, "You're worthy. You lost 90 pounds and you are still in this sport 10 years later." So anyways, it's all about coming out, enjoying your life, and understanding that this is all about enjoying every second. There's this. This sport is this sport is an abuser, right? It abuses everybody. It's an equal opportunity abuser. It doesn't care if you're big, if you're small, if you're missing a leg, if you're missing an arm, if you're in a wheelchair. Come out here, get from point A to point B, and prove to yourself you can accomplish anything in life.
Wow. Bob, I'm so grateful to
Anytime, Chris. Keep doing great stuff.
You too. Absolutely. So everybody, Bob Babbit, Challenge Athlete Foundation. If there's any organization that you want to race for, you can race for the Challenge Athlete Foundation. I race for John Wayne Cancer Foundation. Pick something, commit to it, and go out and make a difference. Follow guys like this. I'll get you there too, but follow guys like this.
It's important to know that when you race for yourself, a lot of times it can be a very selfish sport. You go out, you swim, you bike, you run. When you do it for the John Wayne Cancer Society, whatever you're doing it for, that gives more purpose to your workouts, more reason for you not to say, "I don't feel like working out today," because you're changing somebody else's life for the better. Don't ever stop and just keep changing your life for the better.
Bob Babbit.
Anytime, brother. Keep being great, Chris.
I'll see you again.
Absolutely, man. Take care.
Clip you. Thanks, Bob.
Of course, anytime.
You're so great, man. I'll see you soon, Bob.